In the quiet moments of December, when the world seems wrapped in a blanket of twinkling lights and festive cheer, there lies a story that often goes unnoticed. It's a story not told with grand gestures or media fanfare, but one that quietly unfolds amidst the shadows of the holiday season. It is the story of a man whose life was marked by wealth and generosity, yet for many years, his true impact remained hidden beneath the glow of superficial celebrations. His name was once spoken with admiration, his fortune a symbol of success, but as time passed, he became nothing more than a distant memory, forgotten by the very community that once celebrated him. This is a tale of rediscovery, of a man's journey from obscurity to an act that will reignite the spirit of hope and kindness in a city that desperately needs it. The problem at its core is one of disconnection, a society so wrapped up in its own routines and material pursuits that it loses sight of the human stories behind the wealth and status. December, with its glittering decorations and commercial frenzy, can often serve as a reminder of how easily people forget the true meaning of compassion. It's a time when the world seems to shine brighter, yet for many who are marginalized or forgotten, the darkness of loneliness and neglect persists. Among these are children who are left to navigate life's hardships without families or resources to guide them. Orphaned and neglected, these children often become invisible in the midst of holiday celebrations that highlight family, abundance, and happiness. Their presence is often overlooked, their needs overlooked, their innocence overshadowed by the relentless rush of the season. Amidst this landscape emerges an unexpected figure, a man whose story is intertwined with the spirit of light and hope. Once known as a wealthy benefactor, his name faded from the public eye, but his heart carried the memory of a promise made long ago. It is within this context that his story takes a turn, one that shifts from personal recollection to a larger act of kindness that will challenge the very fabric of the community. His journey begins in the shadows, with a simple realization that the true value of wealth is not in what is accumulated, but in what is shared. It is a narrative that defies the conventional notions of success and reminds us that sometimes the most profound impact is made quietly, without expectation or recognition. This particular script explores the complexity of rediscovery, of a man who, despite being overlooked in December, finds his purpose in the act of lighting up the city in an extraordinary way. His mission is not merely about the illumination of streets or buildings, but about igniting hope within the hearts of children who have known hardship. The act of lighting the city transforms from a symbolic gesture into a powerful statement that kindness and generosity can indeed restore light where darkness once prevailed. It challenges the reader to reflect on their own moments of forgetting and to see anew the potential for meaningful change that resides in simple acts. As the story unfolds, it hints at deeper themes of redemption, community, and the enduring power of compassion, elements that will resonate long after the final light has been turned on and the last child's face has been illuminated by hope. Building on this, however, reveals a different dimension of the act of illumination, one that extends beyond mere visual spectacle. When this man decides to light up the city on a grand scale, he does so not just to dazzle the eye, but to communicate a message that words often fail to convey. Brightening the streets becomes a symbol of acknowledgement for those who are often pushed to the margins, transforming the urban landscape into a canvas of recognition. This gesture demonstrates that visibility itself holds power, bringing to light what society tends to overlook, much like a lighthouse guiding ships safely through treacherous waters. It underscores the importance of making the invisible visible, shining a spotlight on lives that rarely receive acknowledgement, especially during a season that celebrates unity and sharing. Furthermore, consider how this act can serve as a catalyst for communal reflection. The city's transformation into a luminous mural inspires residents to question their own priorities. It compels them to ask whether their gestures of generosity are fleeting or meaningful. In many ways, the lighting of the city becomes a mirror, forcing individuals to confront their own contributions to collective well-being. The glow encapsulates not just hope, but also the potential for a societal shift. When public spaces are illuminated with intention, they invite passers-by to contemplate the value of compassion and the impact of their own actions. This ripple effect stretches beyond the immediate spectacle, encouraging a culture of ongoing awareness rather than momentary charity. Conversely, it's worth examining the impact of such symbolism when paired with tangible action. Lighting up a city can be dismissed as superficial unless accompanied by sustained efforts that address underlying issues. For instance, while the visual spectacle garners immediate attention, the real transformation occurs when the act sparks long-term community engagement, such as establishing mentorship programs for orphans or providing ongoing educational resources. In this context, illumination serves as a powerful entry point, an invitation that must be followed by meaningful initiatives. The man's decision to light the city becomes a beacon for others to join in, transforming a singular act of generosity into a collective movement. This layered approach ensures that the act of shining bright does not fade with the season, but becomes embedded in the fabric of community development. Another crucial layer is the emotional resonance woven into the act of lighting. Beyond the physical brightness, it awakens dormant feelings, hope, belonging, and a sense of renewal that can ripple through individual lives and entire neighborhoods. Imagine children gazing upward at the shimmering skyline, their eyes reflecting a flicker of possibility that perhaps, despite their hardships, they are valued and seen. The city's glow becomes a tangible reminder that their stories matter. When a community flares with light in this way, it communicates an unspoken message that courage can be kindled in moments of collective radiance, fostering resilience within hearts bruised by neglect. This emotional depth elevates the act from a gesture of charity to a profound affirmation of human dignity. Now, envision how these ideas might influence personal perceptions and behavioral shifts. Witnessing such an act may inspire individuals to consider their own capacity for fostering change, perhaps by choosing to volunteer, support local initiatives, or practice kindness in daily interactions. It demonstrates that impact is not solely measured by grand gestures, but also through small acts that, when amplified by community efforts, can create a brighter, more inclusive environment. The power of this illumination lies not only in its visual brilliance, but in its ability to touch lives in ways that words cannot, reminding everyone that even in moments of darkness, a single spark has the potential to ignite enduring light. This act of lighting the city can transcend visual impact, becoming an immersive experience that stimulates the senses and emotions on a deeper level. Imagine how the interplay of shadows and luminosity influences the atmosphere, shaping perceptions and feelings. The warm glow can evoke a sense of comfort, transforming an ordinary urban space into a sanctuary of hope. Conversely, cold, stark lighting might emphasize urgency, prompting immediate action and reflection. By carefully curating the atmosphere, the man's gesture invites the community to engage with the space differently, encouraging conversations, instigating curiosity, or fostering collective silence that allows for introspection. The visual environment becomes a platform for personal encounters and shared experiences, catalyzing a sense of unity that extends beyond superficial admiration of light. Furthermore, this illumination offers an artistic canvas that reflects the cultural identity and aspirations of the community. The choice of colors, patterns, and designs can serve as storytelling devices, narrating histories, celebrating traditions, or symbolizing future visions. When the city is painted with symbols that resonate with its inhabitants, the act fosters a sense of ownership and pride, transforming collective hope into a tangible visual heritage. It becomes a living mural that evolves with the community's stories, aspirations, and struggles. This approach emphasizes that illumination is not merely decorative, but a strategic expression of cultural affirmation, strengthening social bonds and empowering individuals to see themselves as vital contributors to the city's ongoing narrative. In addition, the focus on illumination as a form of activism shifts the perspective from individual acts of kindness to a collective movement that challenges systemic neglect. When a city decides to invest in lighting projects that center marginalized groups' stories, it signals a shift toward prioritizing social equity. For instance, by incorporating imagery or narratives that depict the journeys of children who have faced adversity, the community acknowledges their resilience and pierces through societal invisibility. This visual activism can serve as a reminder that tackling inequality often requires transforming physical spaces into symbols of inclusivity. It compels policymakers, community leaders, and residents alike to recognize that infrastructural investments can become acts of social justice, elevating disenfranchised voices and fostering a climate of empathy. Building upon this notion, the act of illumination can serve as a daily reminder that transformation requires ongoing commitment. One night of spectacular lighting may ignite inspiration, but lasting change depends on consistent effort and sustainable programs. The symbolism embedded within the lights becomes a call to action, an encouragement to perpetuate kindness, initiate community projects, or develop programs that serve children in need. Recognizing this, individuals might feel motivated not only to admire the spectacle, but also to participate actively in nurturing the underlying message of hope. The visual spectacle thus acts as a catalyst for deeper engagement, urging each person to find their role in nurturing the collective light, whether through mentorship, volunteering, or championing policies that support vulnerable populations. Another vital dimension involves the sensory memory created by this illumination, which can leave an indelible imprint on the subconscious. Unlike fleeting moments of charity, which can dissolve into the background, this visual evidence of care imprints itself in the collective consciousness. When people pass through neighborhoods adorned with meaningful symbols and purposeful lighting, it becomes part of their mental landscape, shaping their sense of belonging and shared purpose. These images forge mental anchors that can inspire future actions, rekindling feelings of hope during darker days or moments of despair. Just as a familiar melody stays with us long after the song ends, the visual language of hope and resilience carved into the cityscape can fuel ongoing efforts long after the lights are turned off. Finally, this act of brightness invites a reconsideration of how communities define their core values. It challenges the notion that progress can only be measured through economic metrics or concrete achievements. Instead, it posits that emotional and social health are equally vital indicators of a community's vitality. When a city lights up in celebration of its marginalized children, it proclaims that compassion is a foundational pillar. This shift in perspective transforms public spaces into arenas of shared morality, where the act of shining brightly becomes emblematic of collective integrity. Now, consider how this approach might influence personal standards, prompting individuals to prioritize kindness, empathy, and support in their own daily interactions. If communities can rally around a common glow, perhaps this luminous symbolism can inspire each person to become a beacon of hope within their own sphere, continuously expanding the light until it reaches every dark corner. When contemplating the deeper significance of lighting as an act of renewal, it's essential to recognize its transformative potential beyond the obvious visual impact. Light possesses an almost alchemical quality. It can dismantle misconceptions, dissolve fears, and reveal truths that were previously obscured by shadows of doubt. Consider how a single, strategic flare can expose the roots of systemic neglect, unmasking behind-the-scenes decisions that keep vulnerable populations in the dark. This act becomes a mirror reflecting societal priorities, urging communities to question what they choose to highlight and what remains concealed. In this context, illumination functions as a form of social excavation, peeling back layers of complacency to expose vulnerabilities that demand attention. For example, unveiling neglected neighborhoods through targeted lighting could spotlight crumbling infrastructure or forgotten public spaces, compelling policymakers to address issues that have been long ignored. These visual revelations serve as catalysts for accountability, transforming passive admiration into active responsibility. Building on this idea, the act of brightening a cityscape can serve as a rallying call for cultural affirmation. In communities where identity has been marginalized or suppressed, light becomes a torch that reclaims history and celebrates diversity. Imagine murals illuminated at night, revealing stories of resilience etched into community walls, each image a testament to perseverance and collective strength. When these stories are brought into focus with lights, they transcend the darkness of ignorance, inspiring pride and reinforcing a sense of shared heritage. Such initiatives do more than decorate. They reconstruct identities, offering marginalized groups a platform to tell their stories in a language everyone can understand. This process of cultural reclamation through light fosters a sense of unity, transforming public spaces into open galleries of collective memory that fortify community bonds and challenge narratives of exclusion. Furthermore, the strategic use of illumination can catalyze economic revitalization. When cityscapes are infused with vibrant, thoughtfully designed lighting, they become magnets for foot traffic and commercial activity after sunset. For entrepreneurs and local artisans, this creates new opportunities to showcase their crafts. Decorative lighting installations, illuminated markets, or art installations that become landmarks in their own right. These luminous features attract visitors, stimulate nightlife, and generate income, all while fostering a sense of pride among residents. In this scenario, light acts as a catalyst for local pride and economic resilience, turning the city into a living, breathing canvas of opportunity. Conversely, neglecting such visual investments risks perpetuating decline, as blank or poorly lit spaces become symbols of abandonment rather than vitality. Proper illumination, therefore, is not merely aesthetic, it is an essential tool for economic and social revitalization, transforming potential into tangible progress. Another compelling aspect is how light can shape perceptions of safety and inclusion. In areas plagued by a sense of danger or social invisibility, carefully curated lighting acts as a psychological armor. Bright, evenly distributed illumination reduces shadows where threats might lurk and encourages free movement through once embattled neighborhoods. This, in turn, fosters spontaneous interactions among residents, breaking down barriers that fear and neglect have entrenched. Now, consider how this principle applies when you are faced with a community hesitant to embrace change or open its doors. Introducing well-designed lighting can serve as a non-confrontational invitation, an open hand that signals welcome rather than warning. By fostering a visual environment of trust and openness, communities are more likely to engage in collective efforts to improve their circumstances, creating a virtuous cycle of continuous renewal. Finally, the act of illuminating a cityscape offers an opportunity to challenge perceptions of what constitutes progress. Instead of equating development solely with concrete structures or economic figures, light invites a reevaluation of progress as a matter of emotional and spiritual well-being. The glow of a city at night can symbolize hope, resilience, and the unwavering human spirit. When communities invest in lighting projects that prioritize inclusivity, vibrancy, and cultural expression, they communicate a message that progress must embrace the full spectrum of human experience, recognizing the importance of harmony, joy, and shared identity. Now think about how this philosophy applies when you face personal obstacles or societal divisions. Just as a city's lights can bridge gaps in darkness, individual acts of kindness and understanding can bridge divides that seem insurmountable. The glow of collective illumination becomes a metaphor for the possibility of unity amid diversity, pointing toward a future where progress is measured by the strength of our connections rather than only material achievements. When a city chooses to illuminate itself with purpose and intent, it inevitably shifts the narrative around its identity, moving beyond superficial beauty to embody a declaration of values. Light can serve as a symbolic language that communicates communal aspirations, not only through symbols or colors, but through dynamic, evolving displays that reflect the collective heartbeat. For instance, installing programmable lighting that responds to community milestones or local achievements transforms the urban landscape into an interactive tapestry. This responsiveness turns public spaces into living, breathing entities that mirror the community's growth, resilience, and collective milestones. It invites residents to participate actively in shaping their environment, fostering a sense of shared ownership that transcends passive observation. Such adaptability demonstrates that illumination, when harnessed creatively, can serve as a powerful tool for fostering ongoing dialogue about what a community aspires to become. Moreover, the focus on deliberate, meaningful lighting necessitates a reevaluation of urban planning priorities. When city officials or stakeholders decide to allocate resources toward artistic light installations or environmentally conscious lighting infrastructure, they embed a layer of intentionality that redefines priorities. It signals that aesthetic and social considerations matter equally with economic development. Imagine a neighborhood where streetlights are embedded with energy-efficient LEDs that not only brighten the pathways, but also reduce environmental impact, embodying a commitment to sustainability. Simultaneously, these lights could be subtly designed to highlight local art, history, or stories, transforming mundane routes into open-air galleries that educate and inspire. This purposeful integration of function, beauty, and storytelling reshapes how citizens perceive their surroundings, fostering pride in their community and encouraging a collective mindset rooted in mindfulness and innovation. At a deeper level, illumination acts as a catalyst for redistributing visibility, challenging entrenched perceptions of power and marginalization. Historically, certain communities have been intentionally left in darkness, both literal and figurative, while others basked in prominence. Brightening neglected districts doesn't merely beautify, it democratizes attention, demanding acknowledgement of overlooked narratives and histories. Now consider how this approach might change the dynamics within urban spaces. When previously obscured neighborhoods are bathed in light, their stories of struggle, resilience, and culture emerge from obscurity, demanding recognition. This process can disrupt societal hierarchies, shifting the focus from centralized hubs of affluence to a more equitable distribution of attention and resources. Such a move underscores that illumination can be a form of social justice, one that challenges the invisibility imposed on those who have been pushed to society's margins. It elevates their stories from shadows to prominence, offering a new lens through which collective history is understood and appreciated. Furthermore, the personal experience of being in illuminated spaces often triggers a profound emotional response, an awakening that can inspire action in individuals. When people step into environments flooded with thoughtful, carefully crafted light, they are subtly encouraged to reflect on their own role within the community. The contrast between darkness and light can evoke a sense of renewal. It acts as a gentle reminder that hope is often a matter of perspective, and that a shift in viewpoint can illuminate possibilities previously unseen. Now, consider how this applies when someone confronts personal struggles or societal injustices. Just as strategic lighting transforms a bleak alley into a safe passage, a moment of insight or kindness can transform despair into determination. By witnessing a city glow, individuals are prompted to recognize their own capacity to contribute to positive change, not necessarily through grand gestures, but through consistent, small acts of awareness and engagement that ripple outward, like light spreading across a darkened horizon. Another layer to explore is how illumination influences interactions and social cohesion. When public spaces are bathed in thoughtful light, they become neutral grounds where differences diminish and unity can flourish. Well-lit parks or plazas encourage spontaneous gatherings, conversations, and shared experiences that might otherwise be hindered by discomfort or suspicion. The act of collectively enjoying a beautifully lit environment fosters trust and camaraderie. It acts as a silent language of inclusion. Now, envision how this applies during times of unrest or division. Brightening communal areas can serve as a nonverbal invitation to come together, to share stories, and to establish common ground. The physical act of casting light over a collective space acts as a metaphor for opening minds and hearts, emphasizing that visibility and acknowledgement are essential ingredients for building bridges. It reminds us that when we ensure everyone's story is illuminated, we lay the groundwork for genuine understanding and unity. Finally, the strategic use of light challenges the very notion of what progress signifies. Instead of measuring advancement solely by infrastructure or economic metrics, it invites us to consider the intangible qualities that make a city nurturing and resilient. An illuminated cityscape can symbolize hope sustained through hardship, lighting as a testament that growth involves emotional nourishment and social harmony. Now think about how this perspective might influence personal ambitions or organizational goals, emphasizing the importance of compassion, inclusivity, and cultural affirmation as markers of true progress. When communities invest in radiant expressions of their collective spirit, they affirm that human connection and shared values are vital to sustainable development. It encourages each individual to see themselves as a vital part of this luminous mosaic, each contributing their own brightness to the larger picture. This realization can inspire ongoing efforts to cultivate environments where everyone's light can shine, fostering a future where collective brightness becomes both a symbol and a reality. Drawing these strands together, we see a complex tapestry woven from the interplay of light and shadow, each element revealing profound truths about the potential for transformation within a community and an individual's role therein. These ideas act not as isolated threads, but as interconnected fibers, each contributing to a larger fabric that is both resilient and responsive, capable of reflecting the multifaceted nature of human experience. The act of illuminating space emerges as a symbolic gesture that encompasses more than mere aesthetics. It becomes an emblem of collective awakening, an invitation to reevaluate what we deem visible and valuable. In this process, the literal serves as a metaphor for the figurative, where the intentional casting of light on neglected narratives fosters an environment ripe for reconsideration and renewal. Such illumination, both physical and symbolic, carries the weight of collective responsibility and the promise of rediscovered hope, setting the stage for a future that is shaped by deliberate acknowledgement and compassion. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer. It is one that neither disowns the shadows nor seeks refuge solely in brightness. Instead, it encourages a harmonious dance, embracing complexity and contradiction as integral parts of a whole. A community's true strength lies not in denying darkness, but in learning how to light its corners with dignity and intention. As we pivot toward this final reflection, the metaphor deepens. Just as a single spark can ignite an entire forest, so too can a unified effort to foster awareness and empathy generate a luminous shift that extends beyond individual acts into the collective consciousness. The potential for transformation resides in recognizing that light is not only an external force, but also an internal one, an act of conscious choice that each person can partake in. When this understanding takes root, the possibility of forging a society where visibility, inclusivity, and resilience are woven into its very fabric becomes not just an aspiration, but an achievable reality. Reflecting on this journey so far, it becomes evident that the power of illumination, in its many manifestations, ultimately hinges on its capacity to inspire a deeper sense of purpose and interconnectedness. It acts as both a mirror and a magnifier, revealing what is often hidden and amplifying the quiet whispers of hope, resilience, and belonging that reside within us all. This recognition does not diminish the significance of tangible changes, but elevates the importance of the intangible shifts that occur when consciousness is elevated. Light, in its most profound form, invites us to see beyond superficial appearances and to engage with the underlying currents that shape human experience. As the collective gaze is drawn upward and outward, the possibilities inherent in this shared act of awakening become unmistakably eminent. It suggests that our future, much like the city's night sky after a careful and deliberate lighting, can be a canvas upon which new stories of unity and compassion are gently but assuredly inscribed. The journey thus directs our attention to what lies ahead, the space where individual intention and collective action converge in a luminous pursuit of meaning, hope, and renewal.